who said this? You are the creator of your own destiny. So what you want to become, what you want to be, that rests or lies in your hands. Who said this? Swami Vivekananda. Okay? So let us just start with this quote and analyze how it is going to be helpful for us. So you are the creator of your own destiny. I tell you, so a lot of things here, the physical, that is the health, the body, the physical health as well as the mental health matter a lot. So we say these two are definitely the two facets of a single coin. Mental health and physical health. Then you can do anything and everything that is possible. So always begin your day with an inspiring thought. Your invitation has such nice quotes, such nice thoughts. They're so inspiring. You should always have one book with you. Wherever you have a small purse or a big purse or a bag, college bag, whatever it is, you need to carry. So if not anybody's, Swami Vivekananda's thoughts, you just carry with you. And whenever you have time, just go through. And each of the thought, puts that lightning or ray of hope in each one of you. Okay? So you are the creator of your own destiny is one thing which tells us. So what do you want to be? So it all depends on your thoughts. So, as is your thought, so is your personality. You just want to be a housewife, you say, yeah, I'm born as a female, okay. I'll be happy getting married to a person and then be a very good housewife. That's also one of the criteria, one thing what you need to do. But just think high. Let's try to be the limit. Aim high. As Abdul Kalam puts it, dreams, dream, he says. So let your dreams not allow you to sleep. So get into the action of fulfilling the dream. So let your dreams come true. Okay, so mind is one. The positive thought or the positive attitude, that is very, very important. So you are the creator of your own destiny, and so you are your own friend. So don't say that somebody spoiled you. You were spoiled because of somebody. No, that means, so you are not the master of your mind. Who can be the master of our mind? Can anybody else be the master of our mind? No. But do we know how to be the master? Are we trained for it? No, we are not trained. So imagine a farmer who has a lot of lands. Unless he knows the modern technology or how to cultivate something, can he grow nice crops? No. So whatever lands he has is really useless. So like that, we need to be the masters of our mind. For that we need to know how to become masters. So otherwise you will be ruled by somebody else's thoughts. That's very, very important. Okay. Have you seen the mind? Is mind visible? No. What is visible then? Intelligence? Intelligence is visible? Intelligence manifests probably in the way of writing or expression, whatever. But we have at least a tool to measure all that. Mind, where is the mind then? Where is the mind? Where is the mind?
Imagine or say that it is in the brain.
Yeah, but it is not visible, no? You can't see it, smell it, taste it, whatever. It's impossible. But do you feel the mind rules us? Yes. We are ruled by the mind? Yes. Okay, all of you are here now. Where's your mind? I accept physically all of you are here. 100% you are here. But where is the mind? Sure? Sure? Yes? Yes. So you're both physically and mentally here?
Yes, ma'am.
Mind wanders. So the speed, not even your light and sound can travel. You're here, within seconds you can be in America. Right? But you should know how to bring that mind back and keep it under control. Very important. Otherwise, it keeps wandering. The Swami Vivekananda compares the mind to a monkey. Says, can a monkey sit in one place for some time? Maybe a few seconds, a few minutes, but it keeps jumping from place to place. So if that monkey is made to consume some alcohol, how does it behave? Already a monkey. So you put in some alcohol, it becomes intoxicated. How does it behave? More erratic. And if such a monkey which is intoxicated by alcohol is bitten by anything, a poisonous, snake. So scorpion, we'll say snake, it may die also with it. Scorpion? Anybody had a scorpion bite any time? Very painful, very painful. Such a great is the pain, we put local anesthetic there to relieve the pain. It is to such an extent. So what could happen to this monkey's behavior? So mind, he compares it to a monkey. So control your mind and everything, your thought process, your health also improves. So if your mind is healthy, mind is working properly, how can your health improve? So what is a disease that most commonly affects the mind? Most of us would have had. It could be transient or it could become a chronic or a prolonged illness. You say mood, you talk about the mood. So mood depends on mind. So can you just give me different moods you experience daily? Happy, very good.
Sad.
Yes?
Anger.
Sad, anger, anxiety. Then? Yeah? Naughty mood. Yes? Then? Lazy. Then? Sleepy. I'm very happy you started, when you set the mind, how can it be? You started telling happy. So what does it mean? You all have a positive attitude. You didn't say sad, sorrow, dull and all that. You said happy. That's all. That is the first point. To keep your mind very fresh, to keep yourself fresh. Whatever you do, you think, let there be a positive stimulus there, a positivity. Don't take off this not, I cannot, I don't, not possible, impossible. All these words, reduce, don't use many of these words routinely. Put it in a positive way. How a negative sentence could be put in a positive way. Just try doing that. Okay, so your mind. Okay, depression. What is called as depression? Yes. Depression. You agree it's a mental illness? Then all of you would have become mental patients then. Can you say that you never had depression any time? No. That is the variation in the mode. Depression. This is one thing. So if we just take, this is really one of the disease states, I tell you. If you try to overcome depression, then I can say your mental status, you're mentally healthy, okay? So that is a common word which most of you use. You say, oh, I'm depressed, I was depressed. What happens when you have, or when you experience this depressive mode? What was your physical state, or what was the changes that was going on when you had this depression? Loss of interest, laziness, then negative thinking, loss of interest. So you don't feel like doing anything when your mental status is that. Laziness, you don't even want to get away from where you are. Maybe you sit at a place for a long time, or you are just on the bed. You don't feel like getting up. Then, that time, does your stomach say that, oh, you had food previous day? Even if it is 12 hours, your hunger doesn't wake you. So you may not go and eat also. So there's another way. Some depressed people, they keep eating more. They eat a lot also. Then, be a very good student, so very good at mathematics, and somebody at that time comes, your sister or brother or some friend, ask you to solve a problem. What do you say? You're not able to help them. You don't want to help them at that stage, even if you know the answer. So all this is because of some trouble that has encountered, and that has put your mode into a base level. Okay? So, depressed. You say, I'm depressed. I cannot do. So, do you think this mood has an effect on the health of the individual? Yes. So, if you're healthy, if your mood is good, then you know what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat, what to do, and what not to do. You agree with me?
Yes.
Yes. So very important is to control your mind. So mind and health, can we separate them? No, not at all. So mind and health they just go hand in hand. There are two facets of a single coin. So that's how we look at it. So if we want to be healthy, you all agree that our mind should be very fresh, very enthusiastic, very positive, very active. Yes? How can we keep this mind very active? Possible? Possible? Yeah. How many of you have kept your mind active since morning? Positive. Just share your experience. There is an NSS camp. So you're all forced in here. Agree? Forced into this?
No, ma'am.
Volunteer. Very good. You volunteered and you have come from such far away places. So leaving your family, your friends, whatever, the parents have given you the permission to go also, to be here. Yes. So you're so much, put into so much task here, right? So sitting and listening to 3 lectures, wow. 1 hour, So you may say the persons who come here, to speak to all of you, say, oh, they don't have brains or they forget that. It's a torture to sit and listen to them. Have you not felt that? No? No? Can I say that the girls who are here need to be more stronger? Can I say that? Yes. Adam says yes. Or you say, no, we are strong. I didn't say you're not strong. See, what I said, I didn't say that the girls who are here are not strong. So, how did I put that sentence as a positive, in a positive way? As the girls who are here need to be stronger, more strong. What does it mean? I've been observing you, right? And I've gone to several NSS camps. Wherever, especially girls are there, I love to go there, talk to them, so interact with them and learn from them and give them whatever, health tips. I'm very much interested because I want all the girls to be healthy, happy, because the future generation depends on you. If you are healthy, so the newborns, so the next progeny, the generation, so we get healthy babies. So if you are not healthy, most of the hospitals would start wings called as neonatology units. Neonatal intensive care. Why? Because the girl delivers at 8 months, 6 months, and the babies which are born at just 1 kg or even 800 grams, all these babies should be put, neonates should be put in the intensive care, and then we need to see that instead of the mother's womb, it grows in the incubator is there. That should not happen. So a healthy generation, a healthy body. So you are the founders now. The teenage girls get it. So I said you need to be strong. What did I observe? What did I observe? Yes? Don't say your energy levels are low. I'm telling you. So none of you are so underweight that you don't have even 10 grams of fat in your body that could get converted into energy and keep you or keep your energy level to the required whatever till probably another 20 minutes. So what did I observe?
Patience.
Yes. So the NSS clap was really to a very base level. Yeah? Don't think you're made to clap compulsorily. No, there's you should know clapping for health. It improves your health. There are so many acupressure points are stimulated by clapping. So and when you're doing it methodically, so that even more constantly stimulates lot of points that are there in the hand. You know, indirectly, so you're becoming healthy. Your mind is activated. Suddenly, you're diverted. Whatever your thoughts are, you come back. When you're made to do an action. But girls probably thought they were all tired. Did you all wholeheartedly, completely, with full energy level participated in clapping?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
All?
Yes, ma'am.
Only those who clapped, I can hear yes from them. Don't be like that. But be energetic. So everything is possible from a female or a woman. So we have so much of strength, our mental strength, So we are mentally strong. But what is required is all of you need to be physically strong too. That is where you go down. You may say, oh, I am better placed than a man, or women rank more or higher than men. So we may say, so we are always equal. Or you say, I am equal. But whenever you're shown a load of or a 100 kg bag or then you look at a man to lift it. No? So you may be fighting for that equality, whatever. And when it comes to exhibiting physical strength, you always look at a man. That is right? Giving or accepting our defeat. So we need to be physically strong too. So follow all that. So play, work, walk. It doesn't mean that you're all degree students and you should not play. No, that stops usually at PU level. No, in high school you're so well into the physical training or exercises or sports and all that. So that keeps coming as age advances. Don't do that, at least keep walking. If you have a cycle, please use it. Don't think that your friends are all using a two-wheeler and it's really degrading or low on your part to use a bicycle. No, feel happy. So you will be the strongest. So the more exercise you do, you will be very, very strong. So how to have this positive attitude? So I'll just give you one or two tips. What could be followed? So how you look at things is very, very important. So whenever you look at a bottle which is half full, so what thought comes to your mind? So imagine a bottle which has got water only up to 50% or so what comes to your mind? Bottle is half
Fully.
Another 50% is empty. Then, especially when you get that thought, when you're very thirsty and your friend is also thirsty, you have only a single bottle which has got water, only half filled with water. So what else can be your feeling when you just look at a bottle which is half full? What else? What else? Yes?
Better than not empty.
Better than?
Empty.
Better than not empty. Okay, first what thought comes to you is,
Water is clear.
it's half empty. So take off that. So replace that, telling that, oh, it is half full. Half full. At least, 50% of the bottle has got water. So this is a positive thing. Don't just look at a negative thing. So you have a friend, probably you appreciate everything in a friend, and something she does to you, then suddenly you devalue whatever values you were appreciating and keep that at a higher level. Let us not do that. So this is replacing the negative thoughts with the positive thought. Negative thoughts keep coming. Thoughts keep coming to us. From all the corners, from all the sides. You cannot stop it. But don't just go with the thought. So whenever you get those negative thoughts, when do you get negative thoughts? during exam time? What negative thoughts you get? Oh, I have not read 2 chapters. What if the questions are only from those 2 chapters? What if the questions are tough? What if I forget everything? What if I cannot answer more than that? What if I fail? Any time do you think that, oh, you go with that confidence that I will pass? You always, have this needle waving this side, that side. So what if I fail? What if I fail? So what is the influence? What influence does it have on your mind? So it always, this negative influence which is there on your mind makes you do negative things. So you are so much occupied by this negative thought, you go there and sit in the exam, so you feel, what if I cannot remember? What if I forget? What if I cannot remember? So whatever you know also, your thought, your mind is ruling you. So it is somewhere, keeping all the memory, whatever you had read to be hidden. So it will not manifest. So don't say that. So keep telling that I have read 8, so suppose I have 10 chapters, not read 2 chapters. You say that I have read 8 chapters. Definitely I can write whatever is asked from these 8 chapters. I have been reading all this since 1 year, or at least before exams 1 month I have studied. Do you think I can answer? Do you think I can remember? Yes. So for all your negative thoughts, just replace, in a positive way. That has a very, very strong influence. So when we say, I cannot do it, so you can definitely not do it. So your mind, even if you just try, go there to do, your mind is just, taking you away without or unknowingly it is somehow controlling us. Don't do that. So from today onwards, you want to promise me that you speak lot of positive things. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes.
So I'll come back to you again tomorrow to find out. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. So put all these negative thoughts away. So replace them. And when you're getting so much negative thoughts, secondly, what you need to do is, so let the thought be there, but don't get attached to the thought. Don't say it is my thought. If your friend comes to you with that thought, don't you think will you be the advisor for her? Yes, whatever you know you would. So when you get this thought, just stay for some time and look at this thought as a third person. Don't say it is my thought or my problem, whatever. Let me look at it as somebody else's. So this is one type of methodology where we just come out of lot of stress and pressure and problems. This is one way. We call it as maintaining a logbook or a journaling. Journaling is a terminology. It has nothing to do with journalism. Okay? So what you need to do is, so jot down or write down in the book, so what feelings you are getting. Write down. So writing is almost equivalent to, so revealing your pain, your problem, your negativity to somebody else. We don't require all this when we are happy. We forget everybody. We say share your happiness and sorrows both. When you say share your happiness, it doubles. Share your sorrows, it reduces. Okay? So happiness we are not bothered. We don't find who are the people who are around also. But these things just jot down and write down. So many of the things you will not be able to share to your very close friends or your mother or whoever. So when you write down, so it is like revealing it to somebody. Now you are putting it into words. Then close it. So come back to whatever you have written. So after 10 minutes or half an hour, so read what you have written. So when you are reading, so you should know that it is not what you have written, it's not your problem, it is somebody else's. So you are a third party now reading it and just find out what could be the solution, in what way you can give a remedy for this. So you can know that the negativity, how it could be replaced with positivity. So your depression, what could be the remedy? Because problem is mine. I know what has caused the problem. when I know the problem and the cause for the problem, I should know the remedy also. No more than anyone. So once I know the problem, I should know the cause for it, and I should know the solution also. So this reduces lot of your tension or the depression or the negative thought or the burden. Now, whatever the emotion which probably you didn't want to have, it just reduces. I tell you, so you need to have good friends for this. Good friends with whom you can share. I don't think all of you would share everything with your mother. No? You need somebody who could lend their ears to listen to what you say. That is one of the communication skill. So don't just keep everything to yourself and then suffer. So if you keep all this to yourself, so your mind will be in a low level or at the basal level. So it cannot be active, enthusiastic, because it is already preoccupied. Only the cloud, once it starts moving, that you can see the moon. So the moon is covered with the cloud, you cannot see the moon. So you want the moon, the cloud to move to see the moon again. So say this, you have lot of light in yourself, and let this light get focused on the problem, and every problem has a solution. So two things, everybody gets negative thoughts, lot of negative attitude. So try to remove that negative thoughts and replace it with positive thoughts. So positive thought leads to positive behavior, positive attitude, and then positive action. So you can see how you change yourself. So for that, physical health is also important. So I told you when the mind is not active, so depressed, your physical body is also inactive. So if you suffer from fever or cold and some viral disease, what happens to your mind? Nothing has happened to your mind, but your body physically is suffering from a disease. Will you be active? No. So your physical illness has changed your mood. No, you don't want to mingle with anybody, you don't want to go with anybody, or you don't want to talk to people also. This is secondary to the physical illness. So both are very well connected. So first thing is, always have positive thoughts. When Obama first became a president, what did he say? He said, I can do it. So there was so much of positivity in him the second time when he became king. So you should always say, I can do it, I will do it, I must do it. This should be your, I think, motto. You should always say, everything is possible. Don't say anything is say impossible. So if you make up your mind that you can do it, it is possible, you always find a way. How? If it's not possible by you, you take somebody's help, you take guidance, there'll always be somebody who could help you. So be positive. And it is not just your mind. To keep your mind very healthy, your physical body is very, very important. So how to have physical health? All of you teenage girls need to be healthy. So you can walk for a long distance. So if we make you walk for 2 kilometers, you say, oh, I am tired. So if we make you lift or do some work at home, you say you're tired. That is how probably we are making you live what you are shown to live. You need to be strong. Okay? So eat healthy food. How many of you eat healthy food? What is healthy food? No definition. How many of you eat healthy food? How many of you eat tasty food? All of you, no?
Tasty food.
So because, sense organs are ruling us. We are ruled by, we don't have a control on our sense organs rule us. So we eat whatever is tasty, but whatever is not healthy. You all agree? Yes. What is tasty for us? What is tasty? I don't answer. What is very tasty that all of you eat daily? Yes. Then Pani Puri is? God is toiling all of you, but I don't say that you should not eat. This is the age you need to eat. Once you're 40, you're with all the diseases, you cannot eat. But do you think there's a limit for everything?
Yeah.
So what you're doing is you are living on this. Don't do that. You may just eat it, but you should live on healthy food. Don't you think healthy food could be made tasty too? What you are eating in the NSS camp is like pav bhaji and pani puri and all that? Don't you think it's the healthy food which is tasty too?
Yes. Healthy and tasty.
Healthy and tasty. So as ladies, don't you think we be better cooks? Or we should say Nadapaka and only men are better cooks. That is accepted, men are better cooks probably. So we are equally good, but the healthy food also could be prepared in a tasty way. But your tongue does not taste it. Your mother always prepares it in a tasty way. But your tongue does not know the taste of it. Only if you love your mother, as Shridevan Siddhaba was telling, then you can appreciate. Always you will be longing to eat what food your mother prepares. Now many children ask, why the food prepared by mother is so tasty? We say, she just doesn't prepare it, she prepares out of love, very love. And she is the best dietitian of all. Mother is the best nutritionist, best dietitian on the earth. She knows what has to be given to the child at different levels. Even if she grows old, she knows to take care of the daughter who is pregnant, then her children. She knows what to give. But do we eat what is prepared at home? No. If Uppittu is given to you, Upma, you just throw the plate. It's so easy. Do you all eat? No. Good. I appreciate all those who say, who eat. Otherwise, once you are growing up, your teenage, all these changes happen. So you don't eat what is good. You always eat tasty food. So I say you eat ice cream. Not that. But don't live on ice cream. Don't just keep on eating ice cream daily. So that adds a lot of fat to our body. So in turn, we all become diseased. More fat also brings lot of diseases to us. So whatever is prepared at home, healthy food, hygienic. So eat everything. So don't have food faddism. Don't say that I cannot eat this vegetable, I don't eat this fruit, I cannot eat that and all that. Fruits are available. Banana is one which is perennially available throughout the year, any season. So eat one banana per day. Don't just go behind all these cool drinks which are there, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, throw them. Don't just drink that. They're really harmful. So if you just test the pH, if you're science students, they're all acidic. As the advertisement go, as some people, say that it is acidic, and if you just put a tooth in it, it dissolves. It does, because I work in pathology laboratory. Whatever bones are removed from the body after biopsy, they're sent to us, and to make them soft, we put it in acid. Acid removes all the calcium. So say no to these dirty drinks which are there. We are ashamed of this, our great cricketers, that Tendulkar and all who pose for this. We should oppose. Never, never, ever pay your money on that. So you are spending money and then buying the diseases. It's nothing, it's just a headache. Instead of that, I tell you, use jaggery. Use this nimbu pani. Don't use sugar. Instead of sugar, start using a lot of jaggery. It is an antioxidant. It kills a lot of waste substances that are produced in the body and then keeps us healthy. So jaggery, which we were using when we were small. So our grandfather, they were using. But now slowly we are into another tradition. We don't use jaggery at all. So use jaggery. For girls, I tell you, your hemoglobin level should be maintained at 12 grams minimal. So then you will be very active. So that is the one which RBCs are the ones which supply a lot of oxygen to all the cells. The brain constantly needs oxygen, adequate water, at least 8 to 10 glasses of water per day, and then required food, regular timings. So if there is variation, doesn't happen at all. So I was with the CFTRI director who had come to our college. So he was telling, it's not that regularly you need to eat. We keep telling people to have, but you need to have breakfast, that is one thing. So those who have breakfast in the morning and go to college or school, studies have shown that they do better in their, whatever, cognitive domain, the knowledge and learning and exams and all that. Okay, don't skip breakfast. If you cannot have breakfast, what is the reason? That says you have got up late and you blame your mother for not making you or not waking you or not preparing breakfast. Whatever, we always have somebody else to be blamed. We don't take the blame on ourselves. So if you cannot have breakfast, if you get up late, at least one banana, little milk. Whatever you may see on the TV, leave all the dirty things about whether you need to drink milk or not milk. So milk has got a vitamin which is called as B12, vitamin B12. So that's a very essential vitamin for the growth of the covering of the nerves, myelin sheath, and for development of heart disease. And it's available only in non-vegetarian diet. But again, I won't advocate people to become non-vegetarians. But for vegetarians, it is in milk and milk products. So that much has to be supplied. Vitamin B12. Then you need to get a lot of iron, folic acid. Iron, folic acid, vitamin B12 are three things which are very essential to keep our hemoglobin level at least 12 grams. So if your hemoglobin level, that is anemia, 57, some studies say 75% of women and children in India are anemic. And that includes not just people who are below poverty line or who are economically backward. So it is with people who are economically sound also, because they don't eat what is good, they eat all this rubbish. So don't do that. See that as long, so we are all born as human beings. We should be very, very happy to have born as human beings. And for having been on this earth, we need to live a quality life. So quality life starts from your health, then what you do, what you achieve, what you learn, and what you do to the society. Very important. We say Paropakarantam idam shariram. So we are bound to help others. So help or do no harm should be another thing which should be ringing in your ears. Help or do no harm. As long as possible, as far as possible, please keep helping people in whatever way. So if you cannot do that, do no harm. So that is the best help we can do. Let us not harm people, that is one thing. So eat, have a very nice eating habit. So keep your body, this is the time, you're still another 2 years you have your body developing. So how you are after probably 20, 30, 40 years is decided now. After 30, 40 years you start after retiring, I see people going for a walk and all that. No, that should be a continuous process. We may increase it after we retire, but it all depends on how you look after yourself. So don't be dependent on anybody. This is what we say. Now you're all of course dependent on your parents, but as you grow, see that you are always helpful to others. Never become dependent. That may be on depending on your health or your financial aspects or how you are. So how you stand on your own. So have a very good eating habit. So cultivate how you can maintain your body, the methods, then how you can train your mind. So be good and keep doing good. What you eat also matters a lot. So sattvic food, we say, that really makes your personality good, like a Sachin. So what you eat also has lot of effect on the mind. Once Shivaji, in a battlefield, he just stops for a minute. When an opponent attacks him, so without attacking, re-attack. So people who are around, they get astonished. What happens to Shivaji? He's such a great warrior. And the news reaches his mother. No, they tell that Shivaji was for a minute blank in the battlefield. So that worries his mother so much. She just sits and just thinks and what could have happened. And she analyzes it in her own way. Whether it is right or wrong, we don't know. She says when Shivaji was a small child, once mother was very busy, and that time this child is crying so much for the milk, and by the time mother comes to feed the child, she sees that Shivaji was breastfed by her assistant lady who was there. See how Shivaji's mother relates it. She says, I am always a Veera Mata. Why this happened to my son in the battlefield? Why for a minute he was taken aback? Why was that cowardly attitude which was there? Probably, she says, because I recollect an incident where he was breastfed by my assistant. That means from those days, we have always been attaching this value to what we eat. She says, my blood, my breast milk, my child, how I have grown him, he always has to be courageous and a great leader. If this has happened, she says, it's only for a momentary thing. That is how. So whatever we eat definitely has an action on our mind. So always eat good food, which is nutritious, which keeps us healthy. And if we are healthy, our body is healthy, so mind is healthy. So in a way, the vice versa is also true. If our mind is healthy, body is healthy. So we know how all this could be carried away. But the negative thoughts keep coming, but we need to replace it. I just tell you one incident. I just thought I was always very unlucky because 28 years last month I lost my mother. So I was in such a sorrow, sad, shocking. I never expected she would die so suddenly. She was entering into 80. I was very happy she was with me. So as a daughter, I could take care of her. But I was not able to express my sorrow or whatever. I could not cry also because I had my daughters who were more attached to her. They may look at me and cry more. But still I had this. But when I just spoke to my friends, so one, Dr. Venkatramana, you may have heard, he heads the BGS Global Hospital at, he's a tech neurosurgeon at Bangalore. He's very philosophical and all that. He told me, he said, please don't cry, or don't feel sad. Parents do not die, he said. No, physically they're not with us, but their Atma, they're there. He said, please don't cry. They're always there. So that gives, my negative thought was so nicely removed. Then I just sat and, for a while I was just thinking about it. So I go to a lot of these ashrams, where children are there. Many of them are orphans. They don't have neither father nor mother. So they didn't have that affection or whatever. I may be a mother to them, but still your mother, who has given birth to you is something different. So then I said, yeah, God is so great. He allowed me to get her love, affection, everything. She molded me for 50 years. Maybe just 1 year after marriage, we were separated or whatever. Then again, after I came to Davangere, I just brought her here. She was very comfortable with me. Then I thanked God. So one day we have to die, but it's a very, it's a time-consuming process, which definitely heals us. But don't you think I am so happy, so lucky that 50 years I could be with my mother? That thought probably takes me in a positive way. Otherwise, so daily she used to be with me, she used to do everything, and though she was deceased and all that, so very happy with me. So when she Revan Siddhapa said, I said, yeah, I was really lucky that I had a chance. Though I had my brothers, she was more comfortable with me, and so I could stay with her for 50 long years. And how many daughters would get this? As daughters, they said you need to respect your parents, give your love. How much they would have struggled to bring this up. As daughters, don't say that it's not the responsibility of a daughter. We say daughter is a daughter forever. You know that famous